Hi, I hope you have really good holidays and are having a great 2025. At least the start of it is going okay for me. Today, I'm gonna go through my seeds. I cannot believe it's time already. I am so happy because I'm ready for warm weather. At least the rain to stop a little bit. It's been non-stop. I'm gonna go through the seeds. I'll show you how I store them, where I buy my seeds. I will also go over what worked and what did not work last year, my strategy for this year, and why I'm doing that strategy. And also I am going to show you how I'm going to log and journal about how I'm growing. I'm changing that this year. I just lose everything that I write, so I just wanted to find a new way to do it. If you're new here, my name is Melba and I love to grow food and flowers in my super tiny yard. And I do it not only because I love beautiful things, but I love to feed my belly, but also my mind and my soul. This is the closet that I keep it because the temperature is cool, and I keep it right here. So I have my flowers, my greens and tomatoes, herbs, radishes, beets, and then peas, beans, broccoli. So let me get them all out. Okay, the ones that I want to find are the zinnias. So let's see, the peas. I'm gonna do, no, not bush beans. I'm gonna do, let's see, I think I have this one out. Pea shelling one. I kind of like this one. I'm gonna do this one this year instead of the magnolia. So, oh, I just dropped a bunch of beans before my bunny or dog gets it. I don't think I need these. All right, so I'm gonna sort through all the seeds so that they're in categories, and then I will go in the grow room and we'll go through everything together, and I'll tell you everything that worked and didn't work. So let me get going. Okay, I have everything sorted. I'm gonna place it on this box so we can go through it. I'm gonna do veggies on one side. Herbs. No, wait. Okay, so let's start with the greens. Let's see, I have so many things to go through. Yeah, I'm gonna start with the greens. So I want to grow a lot more greens, and I did a lot last year, but I think that I want to be more picky. My husband eats a ton of lettuce and he loves salads, and my bunny also does. So we're constantly buying salad. Like even what I grew last year wasn't enough, so I need to be smarter. So last year I grew like chimichurri, and I grew tatsoi. They did not do great on the green stalk, so I'm not gonna grow them this year. Also spinach, strawberry spinach, it grows these berries and it actually did okay, but what I found is, which brings me to another point, is that when they grow, you have to wait until they're mature enough to eat them. And then we had a cold snap in the middle of summer and they went bad immediately. So I can't do that here. So I grow in the Pacific Northwest. I'm in zone 8B, but the weather is changing so much every year that I have to re-strategize. It's been the last year that's been a struggle. So I have to re-strategize. So if this is gonna get completely ruined by one cold temperature day, then it's not worth me doing. But it was really cool. So if you wanna grow it, I definitely say grow it. Devil's ear, that did fine. I may grow this one again. Marshmallow, Didn't get any flowers, never saw it, and it could be again the weather, so I'm gonna skip that one. The amaranth, which is a spinach, is beautiful, but it grows really tall. I had it on the green stalk, and on my secret garden it grew so tall, and I think it needs a lot of sun because it didn't do as well. I didn't get a lot out of it, so this one is out. Japanese red mustard, I love this one. It didn't grow a ton, but I'm gonna try it again this year. Little, the Tom Thumb is little tiny balls of like lettuce. Never got one. Again, I don't know if it's the weather or what, but it's not going. The Ford Hook Giant did really well, so I'm definitely going to do this chard. And I'm going to do the ruby red. Rhubarb is a larger one with a red stem. I'm gonna do those two, and the flamingo I am not gonna do. I think I'm gonna do the two larger ones. My bunny loves the stalk of this thing. It's like a treat for her, so I think I want to grow the larger ones for her. So all these are out. The kale, I'm gonna do the kale scarlet again, and I'm gonna do the Russian kale. Such pretty purple, look at that. And then I am not going to do the dazzling blue. Didn't see a whole lot on that one. And I am not going to do the calettes, which is little tiny little kales. I think those two tiny ones, I may try to grow them indoors and see how they do indoor, if it's a more controlled environment. I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna put these aside and maybe grow in pots like right here. See how it goes. Okay, Brussels sprouts. I grew the Red Bull. It's really pretty. What I did is, I don't have enough space here to grow them, so I ended up giving my friend who has a homestead, and she lives right near me. We garden together all the time, and she's growing it for me, so I gave her extra plants, so she's growing for herself and for me. And I think maybe this year we get some harvest. It never got warm enough for us to get anything, so. And then the artichoke violet, the Provence, this one gets purple artichokes, and this one I think it's on the front of my house, and it's doing really well. We've had a super mild winter this year. We had a cold summer, but the winter is super mild. We haven't even gotten a frost. I have not dug out my dahlias. I have to do that. I'm hoping Monday it doesn't rain, and I'm gonna go dig them out because I want to get extra tubers. But yeah, this artichoke Provence, I am super excited. Hopefully I'll get something this year. When it comes to beets and carrots, I did not grow any beets last year. I was just experimenting with other things, but I'm gonna grow the golden, and I'm gonna grow the dark red. For carrots, I'm gonna do the little finger for my bunny. I think this would be a great snack. She loves little carrots. The Pusa rudita. And then the Lily Lusang, that's gorgeous. A lot of people are growing this, but none of mine came because, again, we would get really hot, and then the next day would be cold, and it was just a strange summer. And then the Manpukuji, which is a really long carrot. I'm doing this one on the tallest bed I have. Eggplants and squash. So I grew, as far as eggplants, I don't have the seed package, but I go Rosa Bianca, and that just, I think I got 2 or 3. That was it from one plant. It just, I think it needs more consistent warmth, and it just, we didn't get any harvest, hardly, just 2 and 3, and I'm not exaggerating. I think that's all I got. But the Chinese string was incredible. One plant gave me so many that I was able to share. I'm gonna grow 2 of these plants, harvest them when they're younger, and see how they taste that way. The other one is a green scallop squash. This grew like crazy. I had 4 plants, and I waited until they got pretty large because I wanted to test how they tasted. I do like my friend, I gave her some. She ate the skin and everything. I do not like it with the skin. I have to peel it, and that's a little bit of a pain. So I think I'm gonna do 4 plants again, because you just get so many, and then I'm gonna harvest while they're young instead of waiting. And then the bucalema, this one I bought on Etsy, and it's a super, I'm not exaggerating, like a really big squash. And I was so excited about this. I paid $15 for 5 seeds. I got nothing. My friend also got the same, because I told her that I was getting it, so she got it. She got one, and she gets full sun. I don't get full sun, like, except for like very small window. She gets full sun all day. Also, one, it was even too young when she harvested. It had no seeds in it, which is terrible because it's an heirloom. But I think this is from Colombia, I believe. So it just probably doesn't get warm consistently enough to allow it to grow, since they grow so large. I love this. If you're looking for a leaf, I had it on my tunnel, and it was so beautiful. The leaves are gigantic, absolutely stunning. So I was sad I didn't get any vegetable, but it was so pretty that I still enjoyed it. But I will not grow it again. Instead of this, I'm gonna get the lacata squash. I had some seeds that my friend gave me when we exchanged, and she got it from going to a farm. But those, I don't know if it was again the weather, but they did not, she had the same problem as I did. We didn't get a whole lot of fruit, so I think I'm gonna order some. Know that. So this is part of what I want to show you is I'm creating my own yearly garden planners. I can print it, or I can use it as digital. So I am going to start tracking this so that I know what I have to buy and what I have. So I'm gonna say squash and delicata. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that yes, I have to order some, just so that I remember. And I'll keep writing all this stuff as I go. Let me do, so this is another squash. And this one is green scallop. And I don't need to, let's see. This will help me just keep up. Ooh, I have only a few. I need to order that one too, so okay. So I have it where I have quantities left, so I only have like 5 seeds left. Here I have 0. And then once I buy it, I'll put the purchase date where I bought it, and then I'll check so that I know I have it. And then down here, if I want to explore new seeds, I have a little area here where I want to explore new seeds. So I know that if I see somebody growing something, but I'm trying not to experiment, so it's really hard. So I'm gonna check one more. I'm gonna check the Chinese. This, I have quite a few seeds. This is a maybe 9, and this is the eggplant. Chinese drink. This is such a delicious one. I think I may order this one just in case. Okay, so I better put the info here. So this is 2025. This is spring, and this is one page. It may be more than one page of something. So okay, let's go to the next. Okay, let's go through this other one. So cucumber, I grew 2 cucumbers. I can't remember, again, it will be on that other video that I'll link below. So one is this beta alpha cucumber. If you can see, this was really good. You don't get any seeds because it doesn't need pollination, which is the reason I got it, because it's cold here so late. If that happens to you, this is a great one because you don't need the bees to pollinate it. So my bees showed up so late. June, July is when I started seeing some bees. August is when they were really here. So I just wanted to grow cucumber where it doesn't struggle, and this was delicious. The other one it was really long, but it had a lot of spiny stuff. I did not like that, so I think this year I'm gonna skip that one. Lettuces, you know, it's a lot of the ones I showed the last time I'm gonna grow. A lot of iceberg lettuce. Lunix was really good. It's a red one. I'm gonna do arugula, and I'm gonna do the merlot. As you know, I love that one, so good. Butter crunch. I may do some winter density. I have a few seeds left just because it gets cold for so long that it may be a good one. And then I'm gonna do the green bok choy. Let's go through some of these fun ones. The ground cherry. This is the Schönbrunner Gold. I don't know if you see the label, but this was absolutely delicious. I love this so much, but I'm not growing it again, at least not here. I talked to my friend that I garden with, and I'm gonna grow extra plants, and she's gonna grow some of them for me. So I'm gonna grow 2 there and grow 2 more plants for her, because it needs full sun and it needs space, and I just want to preserve the space for my greens. Let's go through the peppers. The peppers, I'll start with this one, which I was kind of disappointed. The pepper button yellow, it was so cute. It took though forever. Again, whether I'm sure it's that. So if you want to try it. But I will warn you, I don't know if it's because the weather, but it took a long time to grow. And when I bit into it, it just had a ton of seeds. So it wasn't like I didn't consider it to be a really good pepper. So I think I'm gonna skip this one. One that I really, really love is this pepper Lemon Dream. That was probably one of my favorite peppers. Oh my goodness, this was so good. I have a ton of seeds because I saved some of the seeds, and I have some in here, but I will be growing a few plants of this year. That was good. I used to have some in the freezer that we can still have. Shishito, I grew 4 plants of this, and I had so much that I had to give my friend some of it because it was a lot. I may grow 2 plants and then put 2 of those lemon ones next to it. Sometimes when you have extra plants, it just helps with the pollination, so we'll see what happens. The choricero, this was great. I didn't get as many peppers, but again, I think it just took forever because it was too cold. So maybe I'll do 2 shishito and 2 of these. This you can make paprika from it. I did not get enough to make paprika, but that's why I want to grow. Maybe I'll grow 4 so I can make paprika out of it. Chardonnay sweet pepper. This is probably one of my favorite bell peppers. I grew this one, and I grew the purple one. The purple one always has diseases. It has some kind of pest that gets in it. I don't get hardly any, but this one I had so much. So I want to grow it again. I'm only gonna grow probably 1 plant. I don't know, I haven't decided. But I think that I want to grow it because it's so good for salads, my husband's salad, but this purple, I'm not gonna bother anymore. And then the other purple one that I was so excited is the violet sparkle. I've seen other people grow this, and they're so beautiful, but it just doesn't grow. I got nothing. I think I got 1 or 2, and they were still kind of green. So yeah, not worth it for me. And the pepperfish, I grew this mostly because the foliage is so pretty, and it's a dwarf. I thought it may grow really well on my green stock, but it gave me no fruit. So this one is out. Okay, tomatoes. So on the tomatoes, I am going to grow this tomato micro. I had what is it, Tiny Tim, that I grew along with this. But I think this one has the larger fruit. Really loved it. It was much larger and really, really good. So I used to grow cherry tomatoes, if you don't know, on my vertical garden, on the entry garden. And I grew so much, it would go to waste because my husband likes them, but he doesn't like them every day. And I don't eat them. I snack on them in the garden, but I don't eat them in salads. But I'm not gonna grow as many. I'm probably gonna grow 4 plants. But I do wanna grow this orange hat. I've never grown this one, and I had seeds. So it looks really cute. It's a dwarf, so I think for the green stock, this will be great. The one I'm growing is orange accordion. This always does pretty good. It's stunning. If you have not grown this is an heirloom, so I just have my own seeds. And I've shared so many seeds of this. It is probably the most beautiful tomato I've ever seen, and it's so delicious. It barely has any like juice or seeds inside, so you don't get a ton of seeds from it, but that's why I love it, because that makes it so perfect for sandwiches. We always have BLTs with this. It's really, really good. And then Costoluto, I'm gonna be growing this one also. Costoluto Genovese tomato is kind of similar to the accordion, orange accordion, but I think it's a little smaller and bright red. It was beautiful. I really loved it. One that I am not gonna grow is the green giant tomato. Not that anything is wrong with it. Again, I think it's the weather. It's just when they're so big, the fruit, it takes so much more for it to get to that size and mature that we just never got warm enough, long enough that it had the time. So I'm not gonna bother. Oh, I'm gonna say my friend wants these seeds because it probably does well in her garden. On peas, I grow sugar magnolia, which is the purple. I'm gonna do the progress number 9 instead this year. This one grows, but I would like to see if this other one grows better on this weather. Okay, tomatillo. So I grew 2 plants of this tomatillo. It's called Queen of Manilalco. And this was probably the biggest surprise in the whole garden. It was so delicious. It was so good. But again, it grows really big. It blocks what I'm growing behind it. So you need 2 plants. So my friend is gonna grow these for me, and I'm gonna give her seeds. And I need to note this one too, because I barely have any seeds, so I have to order this one. So before I go to the next, I always keep my seeds here. The seeds that I'm working with that season, I keep in this top, because yes, I have those other canisters, which are like this, and they're great, but I want to have access all the time to those. So if I'm doing succession planting or I want to find out some information, I want to have it right at my fingertips. So that's why I carry around this little box. I probably should do it where I put a lid, because this is where it was when my mother, she put too much water in a plant and it dripped down. She didn't realize that. I didn't realize it, and it went right in. And I probably had a packet that thick of seeds that went bad. The herbs, I have some that are growing. Like my parsley is huge. Again, I've not gotten cold enough. That thing is gigantic. The leaves are like that big each leaf. So the basil. I had the purple basil, but that one did not do well either. I just didn't get a lot of growth. So I'm going to be growing the basil ball, I think is the name. I ordered that already, and I grew that one just because I bought it somewhere, and it grows in a little ball, and the leaves are really tiny. That thing is so fragrant. It's beautiful. It's purple, and it grows like crazy. So I'm going to be growing quite a few of those. I'm also going to be growing the sweet Italian basil. I think I got this for free from somewhere. So I want more cooking type basil. Dill, my bunny loves dill, and I grow extra dill because I let it flower and the pollinators love it. So I use this as a pollinator plant, so I use it to cook. Cilantro, I'm gonna plant a ton. I have a lot of those leaves. Oh, here, purple ball. I do have seeds. That's right, when I was organizing, I found these, and I had shown you, I forgot to do that. Basil cardinal, I am not growing again. I was hoping that it would grow because I wanted to use the flowers for arrangements, but never got any, so I'm not gonna grow it again. Thai basil, I am going to do. It gets a little purple flower, and this does grow pretty well. I'm not gonna grow as much, but I'm gonna grow some for dishes, for cooking. And then Italian Genovese, so I may do this one or the other one I showed you. I may just do this one. Lemon bergamot. I have a bunch of chives. They've been growing for years now and they're doing so good, so I think I won't be growing any chives. I will be growing some oregano in case mine don't make it, and some thyme. And white sage, I planted outside. I may bring it inside in case if we are gonna see that the temperatures drop too much. I'm gonna see how it's doing. I may grow just in case it doesn't make it. And then flowers. I was gonna divide this on 2 videos, but I'm like, I'm just gonna show everything on 1 video. Okay, the hibiscus is the Singer hibiscus is for, it has the flower calyxes, so you can make tea. I grew it last year. I got nothing. I'm gonna talk to my friend, see if I grow it, if she will plant it at her place, so we can get some. I'm gonna talk to her about that one. She will love it because I'll grow some for her also. Calendula wise, I have these 2 calendula, strawberry and zeolites, in my front yard, and they reseeded so much that I don't need to grow anymore. What I am going to grow is the resin that is on my secret garden. I'm gonna plant a ton of it around my fruit trees because they're in pots, if you remember that from my secret garden tour. So these will be for the bunny. I dehydrate them, and then she loves them with her salad daily, or I give it as snacks to her so she's not always eating carrots. And the rest are gonna be for me, so I can have them in tea and maybe make some other things. I wanna have a lot. All right, sunflower. I grew a few sunflowers that did not grow very well, so I am going to grow only the bare. This sunflower grows the right size behind the dahlia, so it stands out. It also is so solid. It has so many petals that it really stands out against the dahlias, and it just looks beautiful. As zinnias go, I'm going to be changing. I got the Floret Farm zinnia. This is one of the ones. This is the Alpenglow, and it was beautiful, and I am not growing them again. They did not do a whole lot. I tried them on the front and the back, so they would get full sun on the front more than the back for longer periods. I didn't get very many flowers, and again, it could be the weather. So I think I'm gonna do away with those. Combination. This is double blooms. I think it's not a dwarf. No, it's not a dwarf, but it's a really pretty color, so I think I'm gonna do that. Little Flower Girl is really pretty, but I think I want larger zinnias this time. So I'm gonna leave this aside, and it'll be a maybe. I don't think I'm gonna do the Pink Senorita. I want brighter zinnias this time. And the reason is because I want to grow more asters. Absolutely love asters. Once they get going, the flowers are absolutely beautiful, and you get so many flowers. So I'm going to do the Salmon Janina, which is like a peach color one. But I'm gonna do more of the pale pink dwarf Milady. Really pretty. This was stunning. I really loved it. And 3-inch pink asters. They're pretty big. They were so pretty. I want to grow more of these. Sweet peas. I know you won't believe this, but I am not doing sweet peas. The weather just doesn't allow them to grow. The last 2 years has been really hard. The previous years I have no problem, especially this year was like no go. So I think I'm not gonna grow them. Instead, it sounds crazy, but I'm going to grow this Moon Shadow Hyacinth, which is a bean. It's edible, and it has this beautiful, they look like the sweet peas. And they finally flower. I think it was like October or November. They were finally flowering. So I'm gonna start them inside and see if I can get them to flower earlier. But I didn't get to taste the bean, but the flowers is like this big thing, like a stem, and it has a ton of flowers. So pretty. So the bottom of the leaf, can you see? Yeah, you can see like the bottom. This is the bottom here. It's kind of purpley, and then the top is green. Really pretty. If you're looking for something flowering and want something that's edible also, this is it. I absolutely loved it. So hopefully I can get it to get going. The purple teepee beans, not going to grow them. Last year I should have really just grown mostly peas throughout the whole season because never got warm enough. I didn't get one bean. My friend had the same issue in her place. And then the other bean that I really want to do both in my secret garden is the yard-long bean mosaic. I got 2 envelopes of that, and those are the yard-long, 3 feet long beans. So those are the ones I'm gonna grow as far as beans go. And then lace flowers are Queen Anne lace. I grow a lot. And this one I've not grown. It's lace flowers mixed color. I think I'm gonna do this one because it has different colors on it. I think it'll be really beautiful with the dahlias and next to my kitchen garden. Okay, nasturtiums, they took over my green stalks. It was a problem. So I'm only gonna grow I did the orchid cream, which is beautiful if you wanna grow one. This is so pretty. But I'm gonna do the cherry rose jewel only on 1 green stalk, and I'm not gonna do this one. My bunny and quails love the flowers and leaves, and if you don't know, I've said it before, but you can use the entire plant. You can't eat the leaves, make pesto out of them with some pine nuts. It's better than any pesto I've ever had. So these are I want to grow at least a little bit to make some pesto this year. Flower is edible, and even if you take the whole plant and put it in a bucket with water, you can make like a fertilizer. So yeah, it's a great plant to grow. Even in a small garden, it's worth it. Snapdragon, I think I want to look at new ones. I grew the 20 bronze shade. Pretty, but I want more pink shade. Who knew I was gonna like purple and pink? I was never a big fan of those colors, but now I like those colors in my garden. I don't know what is going on with me. Who is this girl? Okay, the Superbissima. So I grew a bunch of Superbissima. These are Lulca. Beautiful, but that one grows small. It didn't grow giant. Superbissima Gurney's Triumph Mix. That one had a purple hue that was soft. It didn't grow as big as the one that I liked last year. And then the Giant Alba, it was, to me, it didn't grow as big as the giant one I grew last year. It was pretty, but none of these stood up. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this. To the Superbissima Cosmic Cherry. This grows so big, and it is so bright. It's really beautiful, and I believe you can eat the whole plant. But I like the flowers again for tea or to feed my bunny. I may try the leaves. I think it said flower use. You can use it for baking, beverages. It's edible, the flower. They say it has like a cherry flavor. It does a little bit. I don't know if you can eat the leaves. I thought you can eat also the leaves. So I'm gonna look into that. Check always, because you don't know what's poisonous out there. I want some giant zinnias, so I need to do more research. If you have some suggestions, comment below, because I'm gonna be doing some research on zinnias. And I have this celosia, and this celosia is from my plant back there, and I think it's called Rainbow Sherbet celosia. Now, I don't think this is an heirloom, so I don't know that I'm gonna get the same plant, so I may end up buying some more because I don't have any more of these. This was beautiful. I absolutely loved it and want to grow it again, and it's gonna be the only one I grow this year. And the last thing I'm gonna grow is the Ranunculus Bold Romantic Mix. These are the little bulbs that I need to get going on them. And I bought this for last year, didn't use it, so I'm gonna use them this year. So where can you buy seeds? I buy redemption seeds. You can go redemptionseeds.com. Johnny Seeds, like I always said, I love this company. I get a lot. And then Baker Creek Heirlooms. I buy a lot there. So I'm using, like, for example, I buy a lot of the viola and pansies. These are 3. I'm doing the morning dew, this little viola, and then bunny ear viola. I'm gonna do this one, and the antique laeta. So I tend to buy that with them. What other company? And then Botanical Interest is an, let's see, yeah, Botanical Interest is another company. And the reason I buy from them is because I go to my seed store locally, and I end up, yeah, they have them. I don't know if they'll have them this year, but they have them, and then I end up buying a lot. Strictly medicinal seeds. This is where I got my white sage. And let's see. Oh, Park Seeds. It's another company that I buy from. And I go online as far as Instagram. People are selling seeds there. But one of the things that I do that is the most fun is I had a party, like 5 people come over, and we did an exchange. So gather your friends and exchange seeds, or do it online and mail each other seeds. I've gotten a lot that way. This year we did it. It was a lot of fun. And another one is I go into Etsy. Many times I find really interesting seeds on Etsy. I love going in there, like that bucalema squash I found in there researching. I like to explore what people are growing. It's people that grow in their yard. That gentleman had those seeds from his, I think, great-grandfather or something. So it's had for generations. I wish I could grow it here. One more plant, Yarrow Love Parade, is one that I'm going to be growing also. And this one got a little wet, so I may order this. So I have to sort this on my form. So this that I'm creating may be available soon. I'm gonna see. I'm working on it, and you can do it by hand, print it, or you can do it. I'm determined to do this digitally because I always lose my notebook or the pages I'm doing. I walk all over and then I cannot find it. I have multiple notebooks and pages. I said I'm gonna do it this way, and I think I cannot lose it that way. So that's what I'm planning to do. That is everything I'm growing this year, but I want to tell you a couple of things. One is, I know we all go by zone on what we grow or not grow, but my yard, for example, it is impacted a lot because my yard faces north. So I don't get sun until so late in the season. So you have to examine the sun and how many hours you get on every single area of your yard, especially now where our climate is changing and things are different. Every year has been different for me the last 2 years, so I'm having to adapt, and that's okay. I played in the last 4 years, and now I know more or less what I want to grow. And study what makes you grow what you are going to grow. Is it to experiment because you want to have fun and see what you can grow, and that's perfectly fine? Or is it because you want to do some healthy things like specific earth for your health? Just kind of examine that. I always had journals and things that I keep of why I want to do what I want to do, and that's how I created my garden. And I am working on something to try to help you with that I'm gonna go ahead and put out sometime soon, but I'm still kind of working on it. And I want it to be able to work for you and be just very motivational and transform what you're doing, the experience. But don't get frustrated because things are changing so much on this weather that even people who have experience, it is a little disheartening at times when things don't grow. I'm trying to see it as it is the journey that it is, and I'm gonna just try something else. But now that I am going to do a more specific sort of approach, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. I still gonna have my flowers, I'm still gonna have fun, but I'm just gonna have food to nourish. One that you need to look at, and I've always mentioned it before, is the marjoram. If you cannot grow two different things, like for oregano, marjoram is even healthier than oregano. They're both great, but I love marjoram. It's delicious raw in salads, and the oregano, you know, it's good to cook and all that, but the marjoram is really good in salads and makes amazing tea mixed with the chamomile, which brings me that I have chamomile, but I have to get feverfew. See why I need to journal? I need to journal because all this stuff is in my head. So go ahead and get organized and ready, because pretty soon we're going to start growing together. I'm going to start with the ranunculus balls, so get yours and we can do them together. In the meantime, enjoy your garden, enjoy the journey, and it's going to be an amazing year for all of us. Take care.